Welcome everybody to the Conversation Club number 8. We have 3 very special guests today. We have Ferencz, Allan, and Abhi. So first we are going to do a short introduction, then we are going to ask some questions to our guests, and then we are going to talk about the Colombia tax reform. We have some rules, like always. So first, be nice, only English, and raise your hand if you want to say
Yeah.
something.
Hi,
Hi
Sophie.
guys, my name is Allan Leonardo. I'm over here in America right now. I'm so glad to be here right now. I can't wait to get to meet all of you guys and everything. Like Sophia invited me, and I was like more than stoked to come and join you guys. I can't wait to meet all of you guys.
Okay, my name is Ferencz. I live in the Caribbean on the island of Curazao. And well, I have many hobbies. I like to read. I like to play sports. And I have a new passion. It is playing chess. So I really enjoy joining Sophia's club and meeting new people.
This is Abhi. So you would have known me. So I live in the States. I live in Seattle, and I work as a software engineer right here. And yeah, I pretty much like to have fun over the weekends and work over the weekdays. I'm just trying to help and get to know people, I guess.
Hello, my name is Karen Tatiana Ladino. I am 16 years old. I'm from Colombia, and my hobbies are watch TV or movies and play with my pets.
And nice to meet you all, guys. My name is Juan David. I am from Colombia. I am a geologist and currently I'm working in a dam. My hobbies, I have a lot of hobbies. I like to read about politics, diplomacy, I like cinema, I like music, among others.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. My name is Manuela. I'm 23 years old. I'm currently working. I am a geologist and I live here between Medellin and Manizales. One of my hobbies is to read and to watch like series, or TV series, or watch movies.
Hi everybody, my name is David Llano with Alejandro. I was a week ago here.
Hi.
I'm geologist. I'm from southwestern Colombia. I'm from a city that I'm from Pasto, and I come here to practice my speaking. I'm listening to, you know.
We are going to ask some questions to our guests.
Okay, why do you prefer to live in Ushua and not in other countries?
Yeah, so I think I started with the US because it's a lot more safer for us, being in a developing country and trying to fly somewhere else. People prefer to go with the more safer choices and the area for growth. Where a lot of people in US, that is how it's been. So it's an open country for anyone, and it's a tough job to get a visa and all. But if you get through it, you can live for it. And if you are a student, so I came in as a student, so I know the pain of not able to work, and still you'll have to bring money from the home country. That is for me, it's from India, but you have a lot more exposure and you will learn a lot more that you will not pretty much see. And yeah, I did already had multiple choices when I'm trying to apply for the universities and fly elsewhere. So, but I thought, okay, US is the best option because it's a lot more secure. They're open, and then there is lot involved into this place that will help to grow for me personally. So yeah, that's the reason.
Yeah, I was asking you about your passion. You mentioned it before.
My
That you
passion. Yes.
a new passion. So if you want to tell us more about it, what is it
Yeah.
about?
I always my passion right now is playing chess, and I always was interested, but I never practice it consistently. So I started 3 years ago. I joined a club in Curazao, and I started also playing online, and I really enjoyed it very much, especially now during the pandemic that in Curacao, like almost any country, we had the shutdown. So I could spend my time playing chess and improving in chess. So that has been very helpful for me. Do you people play chess? Abhi, do you play chess? No. And you, Juan David, do you play?
No. I used to play when I was at school, but that was a long time ago.
Okay.
For Alan, you told us that he's like into geology, but I would like to know like why, or if you have read about it, or he's just like interested in that, or what kind of things do you like about geology?
Hey, yeah, like so right now, like I'm studying forestry, which is basically like studying the forest and everything. And I was telling Sophia that geology is kind of like one of those things that kind of really play a factor into my degree and major that I'm studying. And I've always just kind of been fascinated when it comes to like volcanoes, rock formations, and tectonic plates and everything. All those kind of like just really fascinate me. I haven't been able to like get into it really deeply, but I do love learning about the concepts and kind of like fascinating research that there's going on over here.
Actually, yesterday I was watching like a documental, I think, in Disney Plus about the disaster of Pompeii. I know that you all have heard about it. Like a massive disaster of the Etna volcano. So pretty amazing to know how such a beautiful thing can be so dangerous for us if we don't take precaution.
Yeah, exactly. Like stuff like that like fascinates me and everything, because many people like look at it like, oh, geology is just studying rocks and there's nothing really interesting. But the deeper you look into those rocks, and that it tells history. As someone, I love history, and like it fascinates me how like those rocks have been way before humans, and they can trace life until like time started. So I find it very fascinating, and the research that goes behind it.
I have a question for Alan. Do you think forestry has a lot in common with geology?
Yeah, of course, and everything. Like when we're studying right now, like we always have to look at like the forestry. Our main goal is to see trees grow. It's basically, I'm a tree farmer in simple terms. And so these trees are going to be here for our goal as foresters is to always make our trees grow up to 200 years, because that's like the most like oldest trees can be are like almost 500 years old. And so like, yes, like geology does play a factor into how the ground will affect our trees.
Yeah. Interesting.
These trees, these are called cedars, and these are little babies, and they will grow up to maybe hopefully like 100 feet tall one day.
Wow.
But until then, until then, sorry, trying to. Until then, we have to take care of them, and it's just like it's super important, and it takes a long time to like replace all those natural resources. So yeah, it's like nothing to be exaggerated about. Like it's really a serious issue that we have to talk about.
I was very concerned about all the wildfires last year, like in California and Australia. I think it's very sad.
I got a question for you guys. Can you guys tell me a little bit more about Colombia? Entonces, I love learning about your culture and everything. I love learning about it.
here we have a lot of regions, a lot of different regions, each one with a very specific culture. One of that cultures is what's mentioned now, and it is the dances that we have and the music that we used to dance here. For example, we have a city which is called Abhi. It is like the world capital of the salsa.
Mhm.
It is very rhythmic genre. So, and we have on the other hand, we have the Caribbean and all those coast regions which have a music called vallenato. It's a very happy music, and yeah, I just wanted to say that.
I would like to add that one of the most like the most beautiful things that we have in our country it's our natural resources. I don't know if it's quite
Yes,
well said.
resources.
um,
Yes.
yeah, because I mean, there's like green everywhere you look. There's a lot of like biodiversity in the animals and fauna, flora, and that stuff. And the birds. I don't know if you heard, but Colombia is one of the most like visited countries because of the view of the birds. But I don't know how to say in technical words, but you can
Mhm.
see a lot of distinct species of birds. And also, I mean, here in Colombia, there are a lot of things that they're not in other part
Yes.
of the world. I mean, endemic species of
Yeah.
animals or maybe fruits, of also
Mhm.
vegetables and that stuff.
Yeah.
I have a question to Alan. So, how is it to grow up in a bilingual home, like with Spanish and English? Because he's bilingual. He can speak Spanish and English because his family is from Guatemala and he was born in US. So I would like to know how does it feel like to have different languages all of the time.
I think it's awesome. Like, I like that I can speak English with you guys, but then I like que también si hablo en español me entienden también. Um,
Muy bien.
and I love lingual and everything. It is interesting because like, so yeah, I was born here in America, but my family is from Guatemala.
Mhm.
And so yeah, and then although sometimes I kind of feel sad because like I haven't been able to go back to Guatemala as much as I would like, and that's the thing. Like many of my friends who live here, their parents immigrated from a different country. Like most of my friends are from Mexico, Salvador, and all these different countries. And it's sometimes sad because we don't really know a lot about our original identity because we our parents usually don't really teach us a lot about our countries and our histories and stuff like that. But like I like to like take my time and kind of like discover my own identity and
Yes.
everything. And Latino America is like fascinating with me. Like everything about Latino America is like we're so diverse as a people and everything. Like we come on all different like colors, shades, and just everything, and it's just like fascinating to me. And especially Colombia, like Colombia has so many different indigenous people that fascinate me. And then history, like including like from like Simon Bolivar. Like one of my favorite books is like the General in His Labyrinth. That's one of my favorite books ever. And the poems that come out from Colombia. Like I'm someone who is a hopeless romantic, and so I love the poems that many Colombians write. It's very
Yeah.
passionate.
Mhm.
Okay, so we are going to continue with the last part. We are going to talk about the Colombia tax reform. This is a situation that is happening right now in our country. So, who wants to tell us the opinion about this topic?
Well,
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about that. Well, I think that it's important that we, as citizens of the Republic, um, we mobilize in the
Mobilize.
yeah
Mobilize. Yeah.
mobilize
Awesome.
to demonstrate our conformity about this reform. By the pandemic, right? Um, there was a lot of economic crisis. So the government doesn't have enough cash to support the state, right? And so they look for modify well, they look for a tax reform to get the money to cover these holes in the you know in the cash that they need to to the cash that they need to support this state, right?
Mhm.
Although they they want to make another others reforms like the salubrity. How do you say the healthcare reform, right?
Incredible, Alejandro.
Yeah, I wanted to start with a short introduction, and it was that at the beginning of this meeting we were talking about beautiful things that we have in our country, which are totally true. But on the other hand, the worst thing that we have is the government, the people who are in the power right now, and it has been the same. I don't know, for the last 50 years, that it's the same people. It's the same families, the same political parties. So the thing with this protest and with this tax reform was that first of all, in the middle of a pandemic, if you make tax reform, of course, the country has spent a lot of money to cover the necessities of the people. But the thing was that the government wanted to recover that money from the middle class. They were not touching the great companies, the banks, the evasors of taxes. So it was very sad, and all of those stuffs made that people or get the people in the streets making protests. The other big problem that we have here is that our public force, I mean the policy and the militaries, are kind of dictatorship style. So they abuse of their weapons, their abuse of the or the force. So I was kind of concerned this week because there were a lot of citizens slaughtered by the government. But the only good news, and it was today actually, was that this tax reform was quit by the president. So yeah, that's like our situation right now. It's a very complicated situation, but that's it.
No, I think like Juan David and Alejandro explained like better than I possibly can. So I just wanted to add that it's pretty difficult situation because for the ones who have not who doesn't have to go to the streets and like you have to work despite of that we are up middle of a pandemic, they have to work and they have to sustain a family and just like obtain a little money to like feed their family. So this is a thing that we have to be conscious that it maybe it would not affect us like in a hard way like it will be for the poor people, like is most of the people in
Yeah.
Colombia, the middle
Well,
class. So I think it's be conscious that this is the situation that concerns all, not only the poor ones or the rich ones. I mean everyone.
Manila, you did good. I love your perspective and everything. I love that and everything. Like, never sell yourself short. Like, be confident, girl, and everything. Like, I love that you bring your own perspective to the conversation. So, awesome job.
Okay. Okay, we are going to continue. So here we have some questions. Let's start with this one. What should we do as a citizens? What do you think?
Okay, we could protest in peace, wearing the safety elements because they are human rights. And people can say what do they think. So I think that people, uh, if people aren't agree, could protest in peace.
Yeah, I am from the ones that say that this is not full democracy. You know, in this country we don't have a full democracy. We have kind of a dictatorship, like I mentioned before. When you have that, when you have a government who doesn't hear their citizens, you need to protest, and you need to go to the streets and to make your voice strong or clear. I believe, I don't know, I do not believe completely in the peaceful protest because I think in some cases you need to be more radical.
David, I think it's very sad that what you mentioned. I think people that go on the streets to protest are doing it also for the police. They are also protesting for the military to improve the situation for everybody. And I think it's very sad that the police then or the military could use force against the protesters because you're basically on the same side. You want a better country for yourselves and for the future. So
I totally agree with you.
I just want to say, from my own personal experience, like, man, like, again, I admire you guys and everything for being proactive citizens and everything. And like, I understand, like, for me over here in America, and I think, sorry, Abinia, sorry, I don't know if I said your name right.
They can
But
call
we
me
know
Abhi.
that,
It's totally cool.
yes, Abby, me and you both know that
Yeah, I
here in
know.
Seattle, the recent summers had protests
Yeah,
against for the Black Lives Matter,
yeah,
right.
and you might have seen here in Seattle and
Yeah.
everything. So I admire you guys, and we understand like the struggle that you guys are going through,
Mm.
and like I believe that sometimes maybe you can't go to a protest, but I believe all of us are well educated individuals.
Yeah.
We come from we have attended a school, so I think it's also our job to educate the people who are ignorant and who don't know, and to teach them like, hey, look, this is what we think, this is like my evidence and everything. I believe that's another way you guys could definitely like and everything. That's what I try to do over here and everything. Like, I'm going to school, I have access to knowledge and everything, and I believe that it is our duty as like students and people who are educated, to spread that knowledge and to always empower those who cannot and everything.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so this is not something new for anyone, like I guess. And me personally, we know what you've been through, and when Sophia was mentioning this about it, so I had to read through, and then I figured out this is not something new for anyone, at least from my perspective. And I would say, see, everyone has their own voice and everyone has their ways to tell it out. So few can go out and do the campaigns, and few can blog about it, and few can make it famous on your Insta or whatever you do, right? But it's just the way you do it.
Yes, I just want to say that I think that one of the solutions, right, is that we have to. I believe in democracy, and I think that we have to apply very well what is democracy indeed, right? Because here, what we know as democracy is a shame. What when elections come, what politicians do is buy the votes. So with just
Today, thank you. Do you want to say something? The last comments.
Yeah, I just wanted to recommend you a movie. Now that we are talking about protest, it is in Netflix. It is called The Trial of the Chicago Seven. It's based on real facts, and it explains very well how this thing of protest and police force works. So I recommend you guys. It's the only thing I wanted to say, and thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to meet you all.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Juan.
thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. We're gonna see you in a week.
Thanks
Bye.
all.
Thank you, everyone. See you next
Bye-bye.
Sunday.
Bye bye.
Bye.